What is up, you guys? It's New Age Bohemian, and today we're having one of my talks. Today's talk is going to be mostly about solitude or alone time. As human beings in this society, we are used to always being with another person. But sometimes that's not the best thing and the best way to enjoy our time. Sometimes we need to have alone time. So I was doing some research and I came across this really good article on Psychology Today. The link will be down below. It's by Dr. Shirley Brog Carter. And I hope I pronounced that right. And so I'm going to go through, she has 6 benefits of having alone time. I believe that there are way more benefits than just 6, but I think these 6 kind of highlight the main points. So I'm going to read off my phone to make sure that I say it correctly. So I have her exact words. And then I'm going to explain what I think she says and how it's correlated with my life. So the first thing she says is that solitude helps you reboot your brain and rewind. So I very agree with that, very much. When I was going through my time of discovering myself and going on this self-help journey and trying to build myself, I was very scared of alone time. Because I felt that I would be alone and that no one would even care. But sometimes having alone time is the best way to unwind. I'm a person who tends to think a lot. I'll stay up half the night thinking just about anything from what I need to do the next day to very complicated topics that I really don't have the answers to. And I just like to think and like to think. But sometimes when you just go on a hike or you go meditate, it helps you unwind your thoughts. When you're alone, it's not alone in your bed during the night, because those alone times, typically you think too much. But having alone times where you just calm down, just let things flow, and it'll help you rewind, especially if you work and you're very stressed, you can take a second. And you'll realize that when you go back to doing whatever you need to do, you'll be more relaxed and your brain won't be as cluttered as it was. The second thing she says in her article is solitude helps you with concentration and productivity. I agree with that a lot, actually. I have realized that if I start my day meditating, if I have class or I have a difficult exam or I have to film a video or if I have to do anything that requires me putting a lot of effort and thinking, I am more likely to make a better product. Sometimes when we're too cluttered and we have too many thoughts going in our brain and we don't take that alone time to just relax and think straight, we're not going to be able to focus on just one thing. So our mind's going to be very cluttered and you can't have the productivity and the concentration you want. If you're always thinking, constantly thinking, and you try to concentrate on one thing, let's say a test or a project that you have to turn into your boss, you're not going to be able to unwind and think clearly only on this project. Your brain is going to be going everywhere. So by taking a step back, letting it rest, just thinking about nothing, having some time to yourself, you'll be able to concentrate and go back and be even more productive in whatever you are doing. The third thing she says in her article is that solitude gives you the time to unwind and gives you the opportunity to discover yourself and find your own voice. When I was growing up, I didn't really try to be myself. I tried very much to stick to the norms, to be like everyone else. Maybe when I was little I tried to be I was a very individual. But growing up, being a preteen, being a teenager, you want to be like everyone else. You don't want to be an outcast. And that happens a lot once you get into your adult life because you've been doing it since such a young age. And you don't learn what you actually like. Through my experiences and through my self-growth and me trying to find myself and becoming a better person and searching for the truths in life and how to live a better life, I've realized a lot of things about myself that I really didn't know until I took time to meditate, took time to relax, took time for myself, realized that I don't always have to be with another person to enjoy my day. You can spend time by yourself and it'll help you a lot more than it does when you're with other people, because it gives you a chance to reflect on your abilities and reflect on yourself. Taking time for yourself will help you discover yourself in so many different ways, from giving you $1 million idea to figuring out what your new hobby is. So sometimes we just have to take time for ourselves to figure ourselves out, because you might be 80 years old and still not know yourself as well as you think. The fourth, I think, is a no-brainer. Solitude gives you time to really deeply think about stuff. So I have always liked to think very deep. Many people who know me personally will be like, wow, he's always so deep. He has to take everything to the next level and take something as simple as why do we drive cars to very, very deep, sentimental, and psychological point. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good to deep so to think so deeply and to try to get to the core of everything, because some things are really at its core the basics. But some people really do not think deep, and they only look at the surface of things. But part of this channel is to help you guys learn how to think for yourselves, and part of thinking for yourselves is thinking deeply, thinking about issues and thinking about things in your own life to a more core level. So when you're by yourself and let's say you had an argument with your significant other, you're probably going to think, oh, I had that argument because she or he did something stupid in breakfast time and they said a stupid comment and that's why I'm angry. But if you take a step back and you're by yourself and you start thinking and you think in a non-judgmental way, you might realize that the reason that argument hurt you so much and you might have overreacted was because that argument was done by someone else to you and you didn't take it, and you took it personal when they did it, and you just keep figuring out stuff that might not be deep, wow, that's deep type talking, but you figure out things that are more deep to the root of your actual emotions when you're by yourself. You can also think of huge scale topics such as climate change, abortion, very controversial topics, and sometimes you can figure out your actual stance when you're by yourself. By taking a step back in life, you'll be able to think deeply with your alone time and be able to really understand what you truly believe. And that's a great tool in helping yourself grow. The fifth thing is solitude helps you work out problems more efficiently. I can't agree with this enough. Sometimes I'll have the biggest problems facing me, from where I want to go to college next year, where I want to move, to the basic things like, what should I buy? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? Basic problems, or more bigger, more intense problems, more complex problems. When you take a step back and you're by yourself, you're isolated, you're taking a walk, you're riding your bike, instantly you'll start thinking, wow, well, if I do this, if I do this, if I do this, maybe the problem will fix. What are the pros? What are the cons? More efficiently, you can think of what actually will help you in the problem than what everyone else is talking about. Many of the times we want to be, an X told me this, and maybe I should listen to them and not listen to person Y. I should do what they say and not what they say. But when you take a step back and you just pay attention to yourself, you'll figure out that most of the times you know what the true answer inside you is, and it'll come out and you'll be able to problem solve much better than any other time. The sixth and final point that the article says is that solitude helps you with other relationships. So in this point I agree very, very much. In a relationship, it's usually two people. No matter if it's a friendship or if it's anything more than a friendship, it's always going to be two people. When you're growing, you have to grow as an individual, and you have to help the other person grow as an individual so you can both grow as a unit. To be able to help each other grow, you have to know yourself personally. And to be able to know yourself personally, you need to take time for yourself. Many times in a relationship, you're like, oh, I'm always with my girlfriend, I can't do this, I can't do that, or I'm always with my boyfriend, and you don't have time for yourself. No matter the situation, you're always going to have time for yourself and let them have time for themselves so they can grow as a person and you can grow as a person. When you find new interests or you think of a brilliant idea, when you can have that joy of knowing it was your idea and you can share it with others, that helps them grow. And you can grow this idea of yours better. Or if you both disagree with the idea, you can have a good, well thought argument about the situation and you can maybe see the argument in a new light. So being yourself as an individual will help you grow, both in the relationship that you're in and as an individual. Me speaking from experience, I used to be a person who liked to stick to social norms, used to not want to think outside the box, and now I'm pretty much the complete opposite. I try not to stick to social norms that I don't believe in, and I try to be myself 100% of the time. I understand that sometimes being an individual and having alone time can be scary, and it can seem very boring at first. But when you take a chance, trust me, it's going to be for the better. You are the only person who will realize what brings you joy and happiness in your life. That's why I'm telling you, I can never tell you guys how to become happy. I can just give you tools. I can tell you that alone time will help you become self-conscious about your actions and your emotions. 3 things that I think are very, very good when it comes to alone time. Learning how to meditate, and mindful meditation doesn't have to be religious meditation, will help you so much to realize your emotions and keep you calm and sane throughout the day and throughout the week. Going out in nature, whether it's walking, biking, running, hiking, it doesn't matter. Even if it's just 10 minutes going outside and walking during your lunch break. The third thing is reading books. reading books or reading on the internet or however you like to read or require knowledge. It can also be watching documentaries. Or watching videos about helping yourself grow or things you're interested in can help you a lot. And the last thing is, if you're very scared to go out and be by yourself and you're like, oh, what if people think I'm weird? Go to a place that's actually a lot of people are there, and you'll realize, especially in places like Starbucks, there's a lot of people that will be by themselves in a public place doing their own little thing. So you'll be by yourself and you'll be able to concentrate on your own thoughts, but you won't feel that emptiness of being alone. But that emptiness of being alone will end up helping you realize that you are part of this universe, and this universe is part of you. So in that note, I leave you guys with this. Alone time will help you grow so much that you will be able to thank yourself for taking a little bit of time for yourself. So remember to subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below telling me what you think. My links will be down below, so make sure to follow all my links, and make sure to check out last week's video with what I'm talking about, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. So guys, have a great day.